Money Matters Radio Network. We're now all over the place. The Cape, up in Worcester, everywhere, Boston, and now on the up in Salem, New Hampshire on CCM. And we're glad to have you here. And Dick Doherty, Mitch Stinson. And now we switch gears. Our guests are going to stay with us, to one of my favorite guys. I love this man, well, let's do it this way. Sir Marty Garrett from New York. Good morning,
Hi,
Sir
Marty.
Hey, good morning.
How are you, sir? You won money down at the Ponies yesterday.
Yeah, well, Lincoln Sun's always good to me.
That's great.
So that must have made you more relaxed, too. I know you don't need the money.
If I lost, I'd still be relaxed.
I know, you're just that type of guy.
Marty, you will be appearing in 79 Parts. When is that coming out?
We're hoping strongly for December. According to last time my publicist spoke to the director, he said December is when we project it'll be out in the theaters.
And you want to give us a brief rundown of the plot you had before, but we always have new listeners?
Oh, absolutely. I'll be glad to take care of that for you. 79 Parts is about stuff that happened in the late 70s. I happen to play my role as a mobster, and I'm sitting in the back. And,
the Penguin, right?
The Penguin, that's right, because at the very end, I go, whack, whack, whack.
I love it.
And it always goes over well. And it has to do with, we have a pretty good cast. I do the late 70s. Guy has the mob finances him to go to law school, and he owes them money, and they scenes cut to jail where you see Eric Roberts and Tony Lobianco, two veteran actors, and we also have Sandra Bernhard from Kings of Comedy and Catherine Arducci from The Bronx Tale and The Sopranos. It's a good cast. We have a lot of great actors in there, and I'm looking forward to it when it gets released in December.
That's great. Who's releasing the picture, Marty?
I know the director. I put him in touch with Jerry Wolf. We're hoping Jerry Wolf will handle it.
Oh, that'd be great.
He was the guy I talked to when I was out in Hollywood for the Academy Award party.
Yeah, could you tell me about that? That must have been so swell to be out there. Can you mention what happened? I mean, as much as you can.
Some things I can talk about, some things...
Stay in Hollywood, I know.
Stays in Hollywood.
All right, tell us about the public pods, because I've always wanted to go to that.
Well, obviously the parties are great. I had a chance, had a nice chat with Gary Busey, from... he's been in a number of films. One of my favorite is Point Break that he's in. Mm-hmm. He gave me some great advice, because I was meeting with... I supposedly had a meeting with Jerry Wolf. I ended up doing it over the phone. But he says if it doesn't make sense, and he pointed to his head, then don't listen to your heart. Like point to his heart. Don't listen to your head, because it was very overwhelming for me to obviously have a chance to do some business with Jerry Wolf. And I was listening. I was listening to Matt McConaughey's acceptance speech. All of a sudden, I get a tap on the shoulder, and it's one of Jerry's boys, Freddie Krepusman. And he asked me, would you like to talk to Jerry Wolf? And I go, certainly. And he was going through this thing with me about Jerry Wolf. Jerry Wolf's done like 150 pictures. And it was pretty exciting. So I didn't get a chance to listen to Matt's speech, but long story short, Jerry Wolf, we talked to Jerry Wolf the next day, and we had a lot of things in common. I put him in touch with my director, and they had a very cordial chat. They have a lot of things in common as well. And, it turned out to be a fairly productive meeting.
That's great. How about some gossip? Any gossip? Hollywood gossip?
It's our releasing gossip. I'll have very few friends in here.
Yeah, you better not touch that one.
Yeah, but everybody's having a good time out there. That I will say. And it's like a lot of deal making is going on over there, shaking hands, palm pressing. People are looking to get their movie out, and people are trying to get things accomplished. So there's a lot of things going on at these parties, and people are having fun. And
who was the most beautiful beautiful?
I had a great time.
Marty, who was the most
Sorry?
beautiful? Who was the most beautiful? This is a female question. Who looked the best? Woman wise.
Believe it or not, I usually like the ladies that I find most beautiful usually are, but the one I found very attractive was somebody from back in the day, Joan Van Art.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, she's
I
a great
took a
woman.
picture with her. She's still an attractive woman, and she was very friendly, and I enjoyed my time talking to her. And
she still looks good, huh? She always looks
good.
good.
She's still, absolutely.
She was
She
always
was a
one of my
pleasure.
favorites.
She was on Knots Landing, wasn't she? Was that Joan Van Art?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
Marty, before we go any further, let me just introduce you to that's comedian Mitch Stinson.
Hey, Marty, how are you?
And
Hey,
king of comedy in Boston, Dick Doherty.
Marty, nice to hear you. Hey, you were speaking about Sandra Bernhard. What a great gal she is.
She's the best.
I used to have a club in Boston with Bud Friedman called the Improv, and she played for me there. And she's much more than just a funny woman. She's a classy person.
Is she?
Yeah.
Absolutely. She's really cool. I mean, she had she didn't have a big scene in our movie, but she was just she carries herself very well. I can see why you say that about her.
You have a new TV gig? Did I hear that, Marty?
That's correct. That's correct. I came across Asian Television actually wants me to do some commentary for them on some of their sporting events. And they came across me, another connection through my publicist, Mitch, who probably knows every third person on the planet.
Mitch is a great guy. I've talked to him.
And our Mitch is, too.
Yeah, and our Mitch is, too.
Yeah. So that's, I'm glad to be associated with him. So he obviously hooked me up with a guy, and I happen to know the guy, too, and he called me, and he said, would you like to do it? And I said, I will certainly be interested. And I got to do a little background on the sports that they want me to look at, one of which is ping pong, believe it or not.
Of course.
Well, that's a big sport.
Yeah, so I'll be analyzing that and then some other sports. I'm hoping this leads to some other, maybe larger venues in sports. I happen to be very knowledgeable in that.
This
You are very
business has
knowledgeable.
become content driven. It's been my experience in way too many years that the people who network best are the people that really know what they're doing, because people like to work with pros.
Mm-hmm.
They like to work with pros that don't take themselves too seriously, but are very serious about the business.
What they
Do you
do.
find that to be the case too, Marty?
I would definitely say there's a lot of truth to what was just said. They want to be comfortable with you. They want you to be knowledgeable because certainly they're sticking their necks out for you. At the same juncture, you said not taken too seriously. So, because there's an entertainment value in that as well. If you start, make a couple of jokes about yourself and stuff, it kind of lights the mood. Everybody likes that across the board.
You're a big sports fan, aren't you, Marty?
What can I tell you? I've been following many of the sports for many years. I'm a big basketball guy.
And your favorite is?
San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, I know that. They're doing pretty good, aren't
Not
they?
because they have the best record in the NBA, but I've been following them going back to the ABA when the Iceman was there. George Gervin.
Mitch is
Wow,
good.
George Gervin. I remember those days. I'm an old Buffalo
Yeah,
Braves
red,
fan.
white, and blue
Marty.
basketball.
Oh, it
Remember
was
that?
great. Yes, it was.
Yeah, that was, I love watching, it's like, I've been following, it's like anything else. You do it year after year it becomes commonplace, and I just have an affinity for them. When they come to town, too, I like to get out and talk to them, take pictures, and, it's been a long and successful relationship. They've won 4 NBA titles, so it's in recent times, so it's been enjoyable. They've given me a lot of pleasure over the years.
What's new coming up in the hopper that you can talk about?
Well, right now, the main thing is getting ready for the TV spots and the commentary.
Mm-hmm.
I got to go through my means to be prepared. There's a lot involved, and
You got to break out the old Nixon tapes to get the ping pong stuff.
That's ping pong diplomacy it was called, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you play ping pong, Marty?
It's all part and parcel of what I'm doing here these days.
Do you play ping pong, Marty?
Do I play ping pong?
Yeah, it sounds like a dirty question.
I played many years ago, but I do, like I'm saying, it's amazing. Like, it's on Asian TV, and apparently over there it's very popular.
It's bigger than baseball is here.
Yeah, exactly. Like soccer is in other parts of the country. It's pretty amazing. So I'm excited about that. I mean, there's just a lot of, we'll always have something going on. I got a parade coming up another month and a half. I'm going to be, for the third consecutive year, I'll be kicking off the Israeli Day Parade in the beginning of June.
Great.
Nice.
Exciting.
When you say kicking off, what do you mean by that?
I'm the lead cowboy.
Wow, good.
I know this sounds like a silly question, but where do they hold the Israeli Day Parade? Is it like Great
right down on, I believe, again, I'm not 1,000% sure because my memory isn't as good as it used to be. But I remember last year, I believe we went up Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
Near Central Park.
Okay, so it's in the United States.
Yeah, it's somewhere on Earth the last time I checked. I have to look a little closer,
So, Marty, we're running out of time. Would you come back again when we have more time?
Oh, absolutely. I have a bunch of other things I want to go through with you, but I know to the time constraints. But I'll definitely work at a time to come back.
Yeah, I'd like to have you back for an hour. I have other commitments right now, and we're running out of time. So
we love you, though.
We do love you. Don't ever think we don't.
I appreciate that, and I love me too.
Yeah, I know you do. I see those big signs on your Facebook. Marty Garrett from New York City, star.
79 parts. Watch for it.
Yeah, watch for it.
Thanks, Marty. You're the best.
Thanks for coming on, Marty. Bye-bye. Well, we'll be back on the Fireside, on the Money Matters Radio Network on Fireside. Stick and stay. It'll pay.
You have teams in Tucson, Tennessee, and Taipei, and you need to work together.